Well, hi and welcome to another episode of Lucky Stones. I'm Chris and today we're going fossil hunting on a very windy Isle of Sheppey. We've come down a little bit way down past the two buildings that have collapsed, so we're almost at the bit where the fossiling gets good. The fossils we're looking for today are from the early Eocene, about 50 million years old. We're hoping to find bits of crab, bits of fish, some shark's teeth. We'll see how we get on. I'll check in with you in a little bit, and apologies in advance for the wind noise. There's not an awful lot I can do about that. It's blown a bit of a gale today, so we'll check in with you in a little while. Cheers. Yeah, well, this is the wind at the moment. It's blown pretty much a gale. We've got a little bit of onshore breeze bringing the tide up further than it would be, but we should get around this corner and the fossiling should start looking good. Well, we've been on the beach about 45 minutes. We haven't found any fossils yet, but I have found something a little bit interesting potentially. So if we zoom in here, I don't know if you can see that. Anything there? Found a coin. So I'll give that a quick clean up and see if we can identify it. Well, we're going to have to clean it up a bit more at home, but I can just about make out 5 cents. So I don't think I'm going to be able to retire on this one. We'll give you a few more details when we've given it a clean up at home. Well, this is a very, very popular beach. We're currently walking along in people's footsteps, so I don't know how much we're going to be able to find. Fingers crossed they've left some behind for us to pick up. We're just having a look in the clay as it's being exposed. So this is our best chance of finding some very fresh stuff. In the shingles a little bit further down the beach, that's where it's been washed out and it's been a bit rolled. So we'll have a look through this bit first and then we'll have a look through the bits of shingle in a bit later. Right, fingers crossed for some luck. Well, we've had our first fossil of the day. Sam has found it, and can you see that there? That is a fin spine from a fish. So a little bit exciting, but it's the first fossil of the day, so that'll come in a box with us. Right, fingers crossed for another good one. It's taken us nearly an hour, but we have found our first shark's tooth. So hopefully you can see that right in the centre there. It was just on the top in the shingle. So let's have a look at this, see if there's anything to it. Well, it's quite well preserved. The blade's nice and sharp. Not got a complete root, but we have our first shark's tooth on the board from Sheppey today. Yay! Well, a couple of minutes later and we've got another shark's tooth. This was a little bit more tricky to find. Actually, it might not be. It's right there. So I'll have a look at that. It looks like it's just the blade. Yes, it is. So just the blade on that one. Not as nicely preserved as the first one we found, but that's another one. And here we have another one of the pyrotised gastropods here. So we'll pick that out, see if that's any good. No, it's not a complete one, so we'll leave that one behind. But yeah, these were really quite common all over the beach. Well, we've got another little pyrotised gastropod. I will pick that out and clean that up and see what it looks like when we get it home. We've been on the beach just over 2 hours now and we have very little to show for it, unfortunately. We've got the 2 shark's teeth, the fin spine from the fish and a couple of gastropods, and that is it. We're still walking in people's footprints, so it's clear that some people have been down here hunting today. As I mentioned earlier, it is a very popular spot. So I can't guarantee how much good hunting we're going to get today, but not going to give up. So fingers crossed for some good news next time I check in. Well, it's not quite the fossils that we are searching for, but this is a fossil nevertheless. This is a piece of fossil wood. You see that there? It's preserved in pyrite, and you see these little holes here. Well, these are boring marks. They're called teridolites. and some of them, I mean this one's no good, this is all too far gone in pyrite, but some of them are preserved in calcite and they cut and polish ever so beautifully. I've got an example which is pre-cut and polished, which is preserved in calcite back at home, so I'll show you a picture of that when we get in. But yeah, this is a piece of fossil wood with the teredo borings in it. Well, I think my patience has been rewarded. I think I've just found a fish tooth, which, if it is, will be my first one of these from here. And so can you see that, just lying next to the pebble? Let's have a look at that. Yeah, I think I found a fish tooth. Hey! I'm really pleased with that. And we have, it's not a brilliantly preserved one, but can you see that right there? We've got a little shark's tooth coming out of the clay. So we'll take this out very carefully. It looks like it's missing the very tip of its blade and some missing the root as well. But there we go, still counts. Right, just going to take a 5-minute break so I can enjoy my dinosaur sweets like a proper adult. Well, my patience has paid off. I have found a fish vertebra and I'm really pleased with it. Can you see this down here? Yeah, really pleased with that one. Well, it's been a few more minutes and I've found myself another shark's tooth in the clay. Could potentially be quite nicely preserved, this one. So can you see that down in the centre? Let's go and rescue this guy. Yep, very sharp at the end. Yeah, that's a nice one. It looks from the curve that it's come from the side of its mouth. Don't know which one it came from yet. We'll have to check that out when we get home. But yeah, quite nice. Very pleased with that. Yeah, I think we'll leave this one here. But there's another nice little gastropod preserved in pyrite. Well, a bit further along the beach and we've got another little shark's tooth. Don't think it's one to get too excited about, but it's always nice to spot one in the clay. So we've got that down there. I'll pick that up and take a look at that. Well, I'm really quite excited by this. I think I've found the biggest shark's tooth I've ever found while I've been here. And it is just underneath that stone in the middle next to the slipper limpets. Can you see that? Oh, wow. This is absolutely stunning. This is an Atodus tooth. This is my first from here. Oh, that's lovely. Ha! Oh yes, I'm really pleased with that.
Could it be sick?
A little bit. Right next to it we've got this slightly less spectacular one there, so we'll pick that one up as well. Well, it seems after a very slow start things have really picked up. I've just found a ray plate. These aren't actually that common here, so really quite pleased with that. You can see that down here. And what's that next to it? Oh, nothing next to it. But yeah, got a ray plate. Well, it's a bit smaller, but we found a little fish vert. Got that just down here. Yeah, quite cute. Well, I was just wandering over to show off the fish vert to Sam, and you see that? We've got another shark's tooth. Now I can't tell from here if it's got the root on it, so fingers crossed. Let's pull it out. Yeah, it's got half a root. Well, we'll see how that cleans up when we get home. Oh, can you see that in the middle? Fairly easy one to spot. Is it all there? Almost. Missing a bit of the root. But not a bad one. They all count. Well, this one is a trace fossil. And this thing here is part of a lobster burrow. You can see the rings there around the outside. Well, that's where the lobster has put some saliva or some goo from its body into its burrow to make the walls hard so that it can live inside it. And these things get to be, well, sometimes 6 or 8 inches long, but this is just a fragment of one, just over 1 inch in diameter, so probably been a fairly small lobster there. But yeah, these are relatively common on the beach, so I don't think we'll take this home. But that's what that is. And there's the lobster burrow there. And if we scroll across a little bit to the left, I wonder if you can see what I can see. It's a little one, but it's quite well preserved. Got a little shark's tooth there, missing a bit of the root, but the blade is still very pointy and sharp, so that's quite nice. And we've got another much bigger lobster burrow here. Definitely not coming home with us, but yeah, quite a chunky one, that one. Well, we're just at the point where we're going to be turning around and starting to walk back to the car park. We've got about an hour or so before we get to the car park. It's tide's just on its way in, so we've got plenty of time yet. But we've had a fantastic day out. There's Sam over there in the background, and we'll make our way back, and if there's any more exciting finds I'll let you know. If not, we'll check in when we get back. Well, we're back from the beach. We've given everything a wash. So let's have a quick recap of what turned out to be a very productive day after all, despite the slow start. We have the pyrotised gastropods there. I left most of them on the beach. This is a little scaphopod. We've got a couple of bits of selenite, a couple of little pieces there, which are quite nice. That's the ray plate. And then this is the fish tooth. I shall put that in a box safely. And then we've got quite a few shark's teeth, little scrappy ones here, some slightly better ones, and then a very nice little one there, and the highlight, the big Atodus tooth. And then we've got a couple of fish vertebrae, and another slightly bigger shark's tooth. And the coin I found turned out to be a Maltese 5 cents. Can't make out the year on it, it's pretty beaten up. And that's what we found. So I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll be somewhere else next time. So if you like what you see, come and join me next time. Take care. Bye.